Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're receiving Social Security, SSI, or SSDI benefits, or if you're caring for someone who does, I need you to stop what you're doing and listen up, because there's a major payment coming tomorrow, October 22nd, that could affect millions of you. We're talking about payments for retirement, SSDI, and survivor beneficiaries, plus a second SSI check coming at the end of this month. And here's the thing. Not everyone is going to get tomorrow's payment, so you need to know if you qualify based on your birth date. Plus, there's huge news coming on October 24th about a potential increase in benefits that could be anywhere from $54 to possibly $500 per month. I know that sounds like a massive range, and I'm going to explain exactly what's happening and what you can realistically expect. I've read through all the Social Security Administration updates, so you don't have to, and I'm going to break this down in plain English. If this is your first time here, I started this channel because I've been where you are, trying to navigate these complicated benefit systems and just wanting someone to explain things clearly without the government jargon. So let's dive in. Here's what we're covering today. I want you to know exactly who's getting paid tomorrow based on birth dates, why some SSI recipients are getting 2 checks this month, and what's really happening with this October 24th announcement about benefit increases. Because when you're living on a fixed income, you need accurate information so you can plan your budget, your bills, and your expenses. All right, let's talk about tomorrow's payment, October 22nd. This is critical because not all 70 million Social Security recipients are getting this payment. Here's how it works. The Social Security Administration manages retirement benefits, Social Security Disability Insurance, which is SSDI, and survivor benefits. Most people receive their payments on one of 3 Wednesdays each month, starting with the second Wednesday. Your specific Wednesday is determined by your birth date, or more specifically, the birth date of the worker whose Social Security taxes accumulated the benefits. Tomorrow's payment on October 22nd goes to people whose birthdays fall between the 21st and 31st of any month. So if you were born on the 25th, the 28th, the 31st, any date from the 21st onward, you're getting paid tomorrow. Congratulations. But here's what you need to know. If you started receiving Social Security benefits before May 1997, you already received your payment on October 3rd. You're on a different schedule, so you won't get a payment tomorrow. Let me give you the complete October schedule so there's no confusion. On Wednesday, October 8th, payments went to recipients born between the 1st and 10th of the month. On October 15th, payments went to those born between the 11th and 20th. And tomorrow, October 22nd, is for those born between the 21st and 31st. This applies to retirement benefits, SSDI, and survivor pay beneficiaries. Whether you're a senior living on retirement income, someone with disabilities who can no longer work, a veteran dealing with health issues, or a surviving spouse receiving benefits. If your birthday falls in that range, your payment is coming tomorrow. Now here's something that confuses people every time it happens, and I want to clear it up right now. SSI recipients, that's Supplemental Security Income, are getting a second check at the end of this month on October 31st. Before you get excited thinking it's extra money, let me explain. This second payment is actually your November payment coming early. Here's why. November 1st falls on a weekend this year, and whenever the 1st of the month lands on a weekend or holiday, the SSA sends the payment early. So that October 31st payment is not a bonus. It's your regular November payment. You will not get another payment on November 1st. This is really important because every time this happens, I see comments from people saying, "I didn't get my November SS. I check on the 1st. What happened?" Well, you already got it on October 31st. Mark this on your calendar so you're not worried when November 1st comes and there's no payment. You already have that money, so budget accordingly. If tomorrow comes and your payment doesn't hit your account, here's what you need to do. First, wait at least 3 business days. That's the official guidance from Social Security. Sometimes there are processing delays, especially around holidays or when payments come on specific schedules. Second, contact your financial institution, your bank or credit union. Sometimes the issue is on their end, not with Social Security. Ask them if there are any holds or problems with your account. Third, If your bank says everything looks good on their end, and it's been 3 business days, then contact the Social Security Administration. You can call them. Yes, the wait times can be long, but they can look up your payment status and tell you what's happening, and make absolutely sure your direct deposit information is current. If you've changed banks or moved recently, Social Security needs your updated information, or your payment could bounce back. Now let's talk about October 24th, because this could be huge for all 74 million Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and survivor beneficiaries. Here's what's happening. The Social Security Administration is expected to announce the 2026 Cost of Living Adjustment, or COLA. This is the annual increase that adjusts benefits for inflation. And this year, there's a lot of debate about how much that increase will actually be. Currently, if the SSA uses their regular calculation method based on the CPI-W, that's the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, we're looking at an average increase of about $54 to $58 per month for 2026. Now, that might not sound like much, and honestly it probably won't feel like much either because Medicare Part B premiums typically eat up most of that increase. So your net benefit might not change at all, or might only go up by a few dollars. But here's where it gets interesting. There's been talk, and I want to be really clear that this is not confirmed, about potentially using a different metric called the CPIE, which is the Consumer Price Index for the elderly. This metric would account for the fact that seniors spend money differently than working people. You spend more on healthcare, more on housing, more on necessities. If they were to use the CPIE, we could be looking at increases of $300 to $500 per month. That would be truly significant and would actually help people keep up with rising costs. But here's the reality check, and I always want to be straight with you about this stuff. Multiple analysts and lawmakers are saying that the CPIE increase is highly unlikely for 2026. Here's why. Congress hasn't approved it. There's no bill that's been voted on and passed. The president hasn't signed anything into law. While there are several bills floating around that propose this change, nobody's actually voting on them. Some people are speculating that President Trump could use an executive order to change the COLA metric. But the reality is that Congress needs to approve this kind of fundamental change to how Social Security calculates increases. It's not something that can just happen overnight without legislative action. So while I would love to tell you that a $300 to $500 increase is coming, you need to prepare for the more realistic scenario of that $54 to $58 average increase. I don't want you to get your hopes up and then feel disappointed when the announcement comes. That said, even a modest increase is something. It helps, even if it doesn't go as far as we'd all like it to. Let me break down what these numbers mean for different people. For Social Security retirement recipients, the average benefit right now is about $1,976 per month. A $54 increase would bring that to around $2,030. For SSDI recipients averaging $1,575, you'd be looking at about $1,629. For SSI recipients with a maximum federal payment of $967, that would go to roughly $1,021. Now, if by some chance the CPIE does get implemented, and again, I'm not holding my breath, those numbers would be significantly higher. But plan for the smaller increase and be pleasantly surprised if it's more. For moms on disability benefits trying to raise kids, every dollar matters. For veterans dealing with service-connected disabilities and living on SSDI, these increases are supposed to help you keep up with the cost of living. For seniors who've worked your whole lives and are now on fixed incomes, you deserve better than increases that barely cover your Medicare premiums. Here's what you need to do right now, today. Check your bank account and make sure your direct deposit information is current with Social Security. If you were born between the 21st and 31 stone, expect your payment tomorrow. If you're on SSI, remember that October 31st payment is your November money. Tomorrow. If you're expecting a payment and it doesn't arrive, wait 3 business days, then follow the steps I outlined earlier. October 24th. Pay attention to the COLA announcement. I'll be making a video breaking down exactly what it means for your specific situation, so make sure you're subscribed. Throughout the rest of the year, start planning your budget based on a modest increase, not the higher number. That way you're not caught off guard. Look, I know living on benefits is hard. I know these increases don't always feel like enough. I know that trying to stretch a fixed income further every month is exhausting. But you're doing it. You're managing. You're making it work. And that takes strength. Keep advocating for yourself. Keep looking for resources. Check out local food banks, utility assistance programs, and community organizations that can help fill the gaps. You've earned these benefits, or you qualify because you need them, and there's absolutely no shame in that. Things can and do change. Better programs become available. Policies improve. What's difficult right now won't necessarily always be this difficult. All right, friends, that's everything you need to know about tomorrow's payment and the upcoming COLA announcement. If this helped you, please hit that like button. It takes 2 seconds, and it really helps get this information to more people who need it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you don't miss my breakdown of the October 24th announcement. Drop a comment and let me know. Are you getting paid tomorrow? What do you think the COLA increase will actually be? This community is amazing and supportive, and your voice matters. Thank you for being here and trusting me with this information. I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself. You've got this.